Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nerdverse Odyssey, episode 33? Yes?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Episode 33. I'm your host, Troy McClure. You might know me from such podcasts as Cruising the Rice Patties for Fatties, and did I ever tell you about the time I got an acorn stuck sideways up my asshole? Today I'll be playing the part of Nico in this podcast. And to my left is the producer man himself, Mr. Glenn. Hello, Glenn.
Hey, everybody.
Are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I will fill everybody in a little bit later on why Nico is referring to me as a producer, because this has been a crazy-ass week.
Thank you, Glenn. And on the bottom screen, we have our friend in Messy Studios, Mr. Rico. How you doing?
Hey everybody, what's going on? Just here chilling. Remember, don't panic. Just look into the dead lights.
Please don't rub your nipples on camera, Rico.
No, actually, it's above my nipples. But I can rub my belly button. That's the other one.
He's a bottom because he ain't a top. That's why.
It looks. Oh. Well, that looks kind of creepy though when you see the head go.
Well, I noticed it was Pennywise afterwards. At first, I thought it was just like you were doing some sort of gimmick where you had glowing nips, but now I understand now.
It's not a gimmick. Okay, how dare you, sir?
Okay,
my
it's like the unfortunate placement of that the playground teacher from Recess with the diamonds on her dress. Like, do you remember that?
No.
It was like she had the yellow dress with like the pink diamonds on it, but the two pink diamonds were like right on the nips, or where they should be. Assuming that as old as she was, it was probably the same as Rico over there.
What school did you go to?
Apparently one with teachers who wear diamond nipple clamps. Anyway, speaking of diamond nipple clamps,
Recess,
Rico!
the TV show. The TV show, it was a cartoon.
I remember this TV show. I just never
really
watched
Recess,
it that much.
As far as the show, I didn't watch it though.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to look it up and post it in general chat.
Okay, while you do that, Rico, regale us with your stories of this week.
All right. So, first of all, as you guys can tell, organizing chaos. In this phase of I got to get everything out of boxes and put them in totes. So I had the privilege of showing my son some old toys that I had. G.I. Joe. I think I posted some pictures.
You did. I saw a hiss tank.
Yeah, some of it survived, some of it did not. I'm still trying to see if my mom, despite some, past life events, with the passing of my father, I'm trying to see if I can find the other G.I. Joes, like the small ones somewhere. But yeah, I was surprised some of them lasted, and I was like, cool. And my youngest son, Sebastian, was excited for them. Like, oh my God, so yeah, these are toys that I played with when I was a kid. And then I realized, I sound like an old man, like my dad. He used to play with G.I. Joes, but those G.I. Joes were like 12 inches tall, 10 or 12 inches tall. The original G.I. Joe.
I think they were like 1-in-4 scale or 1-in-8 scale. But yeah, they were like, they're Barbie sized.
Yeah. As he would say, those are the real G.I. Joes, not those. But other than that, getting ready for band competition. Band people, you guys really do a lot of competing, and it's not even cool. But yeah, getting ready for that for the family. As far as the week, 3 shows I've seen: The Penguin, Akira All Along, and Uzumaki. I'm probably saying that name wrong. That's a horror manga.
Uzumaki.
Uzu. You gotta put the U in it, or what?
You gotta put a little
Uzumaki. Maki.
It comes from the lower diaphragm?
Yeah.
Uzumaki. Is that better?
That was better.
Much better.
All right. Yeah, so Penguin season 1, episode 2 came out. Starting to see how the Penguin is moving around. So I'm not gonna lie, I like this show because it shows how the Penguin's kind of like sliding in and out, and then the way he reacts to chaos.
No, did he?
Is this in between the Batman 1 and the Batman 2? Is this
yes?
Okay, so this is after the events of Batman. Got it.
So it's basically just showing Penguin again as the events unfold, him trying to secure power. But you would think like that. You would think he's like a chess player, like he's putting all the pieces. But to me, like the way he's surviving and get away with certain things is by basically the skin and the hair off his chin. Because anytime when he plans certain things, it doesn't go his way. So it's all about him like fast thinking, like, okay, well I can't frame this guy. What do I do? And as soon as you thought it was going to be somebody else, it went to a whole new direction on that one. So he's the joke I had was, everybody smells a rat, and I'm like, it's not a rat you smell, it's a penguin. Like, he's literally on the iceberg as it's tipping, and that dude's doing a free fall slide down, and he's trying his best to avoid whatever little rocks or ice is in his way, whatever. So it's great. So I think with episode 3, I'm looking forward to that one. Agatha all along. It's okay. It's okay. So
just
far.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's not something that it's like, oh my god. Like episode 3, you saw him go to Witch's Road to find out what's going on. With this episode, you have Audrey Plaza reappearing as Rio, which seems to be the former lover or former flame, whatever. I have a theory that maybe.
Oh, mama!
I think somebody was saying she was Morgan Le Fay, one of the characters that was in Marvel for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody read, I think it was when Wolverine. I forgot what it was. When Wolverine went back in the past and he changed something. There was a future he went to where Iron Man looked really messed up, and basically Morgan Le Fay and these dragons or whatever had invaded, and like whatever remains of the Avengers or whatever were trying to fight her or whatever. But I also think she may be Mephisto, pretending to be a woman.
Interesting. Okay.
On that one.
I mean, if I was lubed up enough, I guess.
But I mean, with this episode, the Coven continue down the Witch's Road. They enter each phase. They're in a new trial. So basically, think of the old witch trials when somebody was caught to being a witch. So you had either you were drowned, you were burned, and I think the other one is you were crushed.
I thought they were stoned.
Well,
Could
okay.
be stoned.
So the crushing thing, it's called pressing, actually. In fact, was it William Wallace was famously pressed and he kept saying, "Oh, wait," and they kept pressing him by putting more stones on him. That's the form
Maybe
of
because
punishment.
when you say Wallace, I think of Mel Gibson character.
Braveheart?
When they do that. Wasn't it William Wallace?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they did that after they castrated him and stuff.
Well, that was how he died in real life, was via pressing. And he kept yelling out, "More weight."
Was that before or after he said before somebody asked him what's under his kilt and he said your wife's lipstick?
I'm not quite sure if that was canon, but I'm going to say probably well after.
Fair enough.
Because he died shortly after getting, crushed.
So being that there was one death. I won't spoil it to you. There was one death in the show. Don't know if that person is going to come back or whatever. But I'm not saying the show is meh. It's just like I'm waiting to see what else happens. Because again, with these shows, and I think Nico, you hit it on there. It feels like they don't record a show. It's like they record all these episodes and then they try to pick and choose when they want to drop it.
Well, it's like they're making an extended movie and then they just cut it into chunks that make sense for a TV show.
Yeah. So at least with the last episode 3 and episode 4, it's just basically the characters facing their past. So there's one witch that was bound that somehow she don't got powers no more, so she had to remember how to do certain potions. There was one witch that's supposed to be a protector, so she had to go back and basically face her past with her mother passing and face whatever demons that there's a curse, whatever. Still don't know about the teen. He could be Agatha's old son that she traded for the Darkhold. So that's all it was. They did a new trial. The protection witch faced her past, and then it ended. That's pretty much what it was. Uzumaki, though, was one that, again, if Glenn's the one who mentioned it, kudos to you, sir, because that was a trip episode that I didn't know. So if anybody's listening, it's on HBO Max, Adult Swim.
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a show. So It's episode 1 is out now.
Okay.
I'm believing they're going to just do a season. When I researched it, the creator's name is Junji Ito.
Junji Ito, yep.
Junji Ito. It came out in 98, 99. It's 3 volumes. If you want to buy it, I might have to look it up at maybe Painted Vision.
You can get the whole series for like $25. There's a collected volume that has all of them in it.
Okay, that's not the. I saw a thing where they said he came out with a omnibus.
An omnibus, yeah. That's all of them together.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it came out. There's actually a live action movie that came out in 2000. I got to find where I can see.
Heard of it. I don't think I ever watched it because at the time that came out, there was another one that I was interested in called Neighbor Number 13, and I ended up hunting that one down instead.
Mm. So I think I need. I know. For me on Samsung, they do have one channel that shows Japanese movies. That's the one I remember. I forgot what it was called, but it was the one that kind of reminded me of Guyver and had that weird alien. What you call it? Female looking thing that will pop out of this thing's chest. I forgot the name of it. I can't believe it. I'll talk about it in a podcast if anybody wants to go back and.
Did?
Yeah, it's the one I showed you where it's like.
Zoram.
I was like, look at this power. I was like, look at this Power Ranger villain.
Zoram.
I was like, what the heck is this? Because it just popped up on Samsung TV on their free channel on that one. But yeah, Uzumaki is, for anybody's listening, is a supernatural curse is placed on the town called Kuro Utsi Cho. Follows a teenager named, I'm just going to say, Kairi Goshima and her boyfriend, Tsuchi Sato. Basically, they just start witnessing effects on these citizens of this town. Yeah, it's just you're from within 10 to 15 seconds of the show, you're already thrust into what the heck, you don't know what's going on. All you know is that different people are seeing this spiral and they're becoming obsessed with it to the point where the boyfriend's father, like, again, when you saw his eyes just rotating, getting all trippy on all these spirals, not to mention when she came and dropped something off, he was like, look what I can do. And then his tongue just came out. There's times where I'm like, is this real or is this fake? It's like everybody's tripping. Maybe there's a gas leak or something. Until
is this your first time consuming any Junji Ito media?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it gets stranger,
far
stranger.
Stranger than the father stretching himself out.
Dude, Uzumaki's fairly tame compared to some of his other work.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I would say what Uzumaki would be his like late night Nickelodeon stint, whereas some of his was it Tome that was like one of his like darkest works?
No, it is not.
It wasn't Tome.
Tome is pretty dark. That's about a girl who gets cut up and then regenerates and comes back and kills everybody. No, his most dark work is actually on my shelf here, and it is called No Longer Human. And it is a story that's akin to a Japanese Hunter S. Thompson work about drugs and love and death and suicide, and it's just all sorts of really bad shit. I will say that is quite literally the darkest that I've ever seen Junji Ito go is with No Longer Human.
Okay.
Is because it was a graphic novel version of, another work. So, but the artwork on it is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And Rico, if you're getting into like Junji Ito style horror and you want a game to quench that thirst, look up The World of Darkness. It's a 2-bit to 4-bit. World of Horror, not World of Darkness.
Yes, World of Horror. World of Darkness is something else entirely.
That's the RPG that you're allegedly working on a book for. World of Horror is a kind of like a visual novel / roguelike RPG.
It is a turn-based RPG with exploration mechanics and other things. Essentially, it's a pure form RPG, but like an old Japanese CRPG.
Yeah, the thing is though, it is steeped in Junji Ito style horror.
And not to mention several other types of Japanese horror in general. There's several callbacks to several different movies, to include Ringu and other things like that the audience may be familiar with.
It's a super, super fun game, and it's on PC, PlayStation, Switch, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
I think it's only like $15 too. It's well worth it.
It's not terribly expensive, and on top of that, it has Steam Workshop access, and so stuff that people would have created in the way of like custom playable characters and amongst other things.
So if you
so
play it on PC, there's a
enough,
bunch of added stuff to it.
Oddly enough, inside the game, there is a version of The Rock as one of the students.
Yeah, he's one of the
is
cooks.
Rock with the sweater, the turtleneck, and the necklace and the hair. You know which picture I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, that one. Yes, they have The Rock as one of the students you can pick up.
Yeah, it's really, really fun and great for the spooky month.
Got you. I'll check it out on that one. The only thing I would add go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know if I've actually shown you my shelf that I have here, but I have quite literally every single English published anthology of Junji Ito's to date on my shelf right now.
He's also a number one. He's also the top contributor to Junji Ito's OnlyFans.
Dude, if he did, I would. I'm also the proud owner of the secret layer cards that Junji Ito released for Magic the Gathering.
Nice.
Even though I don't play it. Yeah. So anyway, sorry, Rico. Sorry, go ahead.
No, hey, Glenn just being Glenn. No, I'm saying.
So proud. So proud.
At least we're the one thing I think with Uzumaki, there is some type of, I don't know if it's intentional with it. There was one scene that was comedic is when we talked this before with Gantz and some of the anime where you have that pretty girl and everybody's in love with her except for that one guy, and that pisses her off. Like, how dare you ignore me or whatever? And the fact that they had that in the show, and he's like, the minute he sees her, she's like, oh crap, forget this girl, I'm out. And he's like, and he's running off. And then the fact that I thought he was gonna die, and when she shows back up, and that dude's like, I thought if I get him here, we're going on a date. And she was like, that's what you think. And then the stupid fool got real close, and then was like, just got sucked in. I was like, yeah, it's freaky. I don't know what the heck.
It's happened to me more than a couple of times in similar situations.
Oh.
No Diddy?
Like a vacuum.
Ew.
Yeah. But like that. But yeah, there's a couple of times where it's like, it made me laugh. And then other times where it's like, I'm like, what the hell am I watching? What the hell's going on? No, there's no question. I'd have been like, the boyfriend has been saying, hey, let's leave town. Buddy, I've been left. Like, the minute my mom got committed, my dad died. Like, hey, yeah. I found my dad spiraled like a snake. Nah, we're done. I'm done in this town. I'm out. On that one. The only thing I can think of too is with that show is I thought maybe in the beginning, Jojito was I guess the way he described the town, it sounded depressing. Like, I thought, like, well, maybe this is his version of describing depression in a town because surrounded by mountains, water, they're down in the valley. That's the best explanation I got for anybody who's watching right now. If you watch episode 1, who's new like me. I'm trying to figure it out.
Uzumaki as a representation of depression. That sounds really interesting and a very, very good concept for analysis. Because in fact, that makes a lot of sense plot-wise, especially having read the books. Let me see what you say as the story progresses, because that may ring true. I mean, just as in terms of taking the story apart and analyzing, that's something I didn't expect from you, Rico.
He wasn't here for our dance analyses.
I love that.
I think that's actually that's. I'm impressed. I'm rather impressed. Maybe you're the story guy now.
Yeah, I'm trying. There is a story in me. I just have to see how it is.
All right. Kick ass, bud.
All right. Continuing on. This week, wrestling was on a pause, but I saw something that was interesting that I shared with the group. It's called Mexican Lime. It's 2 A's, but basically this is just a documentary by Max Lakeith. He's a rugby player, I believe, for the UK. Essentially, he goes to Senegal, where they have a combat sport that mixes wrestling with boxing, with a healthy dose of pageantry, showmanship, and mystery. So, essentially, these guys
contact WWE.
No, this is like UFC, like wrestling, and then it's striking. So
Oh.
what these guys would do is that this stuff is like incorporating their culture. So it's a mix. So basically, they fight, but before you fight, it's all about the showmanship and the pageantry. Some of it lasting up to 2 hours before their fight. So it's like if Conor McGregor was going around the cage and he was doing his thing like, hey, whatever, and then somebody's coming around pouring bottles of water or whatever on him, and then he's looking at his opponent, like let's say it was Jim Jones, he was fighting whatever, and he's just like, fuck you guy, whatever. That's what these guys are doing. And I'm like, you do that for about 2 hours, and then you get knocked out. Like the fights don't last no more than maybe five minutes. And I'm like, you did all that and still got knocked out. Like that. It's crazy because again, it's incorporating their culture traditions. They got different gyms. So again, it's almost like any type of other sport. They incorporate religion into it. So not only are they asking their spiritual leader for blessings, they're also asking for curses, to the point where when one of the guys were explaining to the guy Max, he's like, yeah, if I curse you and I don't lift it, you'll die. And he kind of did a little chuckle, and the guy just looked at him like, hey man, this is serious. You will die if I do this curse.
You know what's
So
interesting?
he was like, oh crap.
It almost seems like they're not only placing, their honor on the line for the short amount of time of the fight, but it's like doubling down on the honor portion of it, because of the fact that if you are a braggart and you still fucking lose, then it's that much worse. Whereas if you go in there as an equal opponent, don't brag, and then you get beat and you're like, okay, you got beaten by the better man. And so it's almost like you're wagering your pride whenever you go through this ritual.
If you watch the documentary, there's a part where a fighter, you don't see him lose, you just see the after effects of him losing. So basically he's in the middle, because this is like this in a Coliseum, and it's nothing but sand, like where they're fighting at. And the guy, you see this grown man, he's crying, doesn't want to get up. His coach is picking him up. I'm surprised his coach didn't smack him. He picked this guy. He doesn't want to leave the little fighting ring because he lost. And they put him back on the sideline, and he's just like, oh my god, like he's distraught. Like again, the coach was very reserved. I think if that was one of my coaches, my dad, he probably would like, man, get up, whatever. Like you lost, you eat the L, go there, practice some more, and then you go from that. But this just shows how much pride is on the line, like you said, Glenn. Where if they lost, it hits them hard.
Well, right, and that's what I'm saying. It removes the ability for the opponent to be humble by having the bragging session, because essentially in a metaphysical sort of way, you are sacrificing your pride as a man by doing the bragging beforehand, as opposed to being stoic before the fight. That's what I'm saying. And so, and any sort of residual effects of stoicism or pride that you have, or as a fighter, is kind of thrown out there, and so you have to fight like a fucking dog in order to win. Otherwise, you lose completely. So this is like that's really interesting from a cultural study standpoint. Yeah.
Like it's serious. Like the stadium is, I think the stadium they're at fits 20. Is either, I could be wrong, but it's either 18,000 to 24,000, and it's packed. Like again, it's a huge event. Take whatever you want to do, like football, soccer, whatever. It's like that serious over there in Senegal. And again, the fighters, nothing against them, because again, if I had to fight them, I probably had to bite their arm or something. These guys are like, they look like you're slightly average guys, whatever. None of them, hardly any of them are like cut up like UFC fighters or even WWE, whatever. These are just, I think one guy was a veteran. He was a soldier and started the fighting when he got out. There's another guy that I don't know what he does, but they just been training all this time. So it's not like it's like, oh, you got to be this real muscular guy. No, it's about, you're gonna learn some techniques of wrestling, but it's not about you have to be cut and physically fit again with these fights, because again, they're not going around. Again, it's bare knuckle too. I don't think there's any padding on the arm, on the hands or anything.
Oof.
So again, they show a guy get knocked out, and I mean he gets hit, and it's like body rigid and then falling. And I'm like, oh my god.
So if you find bare knuckle fighting interesting, there's a little channel on YouTube called King of the Streets that it's filmed.
That's not the hobo fighting, is it?
Okay, so it's filmed somewhere in Eastern Europe, possibly
Okay.
Russia. And it's just fighters from all over the world, not homeless people, like legit, amateur fighters getting into
Is Kimbo
doing
Slice
street
part of
fights.
this?
Man, this is what Kimbo Slice would have loved to do. Like there's one where I think it was called their show was called Blood on the Ice. It was the arena for the match was in a rundown hockey rink. And it's like the dudes are hitting each other so hard. Like it's like watching Mortal Kombat in real life. Like these guys are fucking each other up. But I recommend it. Like it's really cool because there is an honor system to it too. Because there was one fight that I saw in one. It was in like this dilapidated warehouse, and they had kind of like an octagon set up, or at least a chain link fence around the fighters. But like one dude got way too into it, and like after the ref called the fight, he was still like whooping on the guy. The refs grabbed the guy and like tossed him, brought him over to the wall. Pretty sure they put a gun to his head, but it was off camera. And then like they were like, look, this is for honor. Y'all fucked up. Like you won. Chill the fuck out.
This is fucking Fight Club.
Yeah,
That's
it's pretty much it's videotaped Fight Club. It's really fucking cool though. Like I would never want to do that, but it's interesting. It's called King of the Streets.
So speaking of streets and slapping, I did watch on YouTube. I don't know how that one came across my YouTube algorithm, but there's another one called Martin's Linksy. He was I think it was a 2019 strongman. But he did a real quick video of going to Japan, because in Japan, he found out that there's what they call a muscle bar, and in the muscle bar you have Japanese women that are power lifters, lift weights, and again, there's some of them like they got the physique. And there you can enjoy drinks, you can enjoy different activities from getting your butt kicked, literally, or they'll take one muscle girl and she'll twirl on the pole, and basically you sit on her and she spins you around the pole. If it tickles your fancy, you can get slapped by them, and they'll basically this guy's like, he's probably, I think he's about as tall as Glenn, your height. Like, this is a tall dude. This is like real, like, oh dude, he reminds me of Bloodsport. I don't know his real name, but he played Ogre in Revenge of the Nerds. Then he played Jean-Claude Van Damme's buddy, the American, in Bloodsport. He looks like that dude. Okay. Like, if they did a prequel or something, I'm like, dude, this guy should be cast. So you see this big dude, and you see these, even though they're kind of big, these Japanese women, they're just coming up and slapping him, like, bam, like doing all this type of crap. But the main thing he went over there too was for that, and also to take them and basically see how these women are doing what they're doing, when I guess there's a stereotype on Japanese women that have to be, very meek, very quiet, whatever.
Very demure.
Yeah. Versus how, they're, these ladies are kind of boisterous. Again, they're lifting heavy weights. They even went to a certain temple to lift up heavy stones. That's been, like if you lift it, your name is carved in the stones, whatever, and there's history behind the stones. Very sacred stuff. So, real cool video. He does other videos, like you mentioned Mongolia earlier. He actually went there.
Uganda.
The Mongolian fighting they have over there. I'll post that later on, but that was interesting too on that one, on how it comes with like honor and pride. But going back to Japan, the guy actually did a video on sumo wrestling, on how it was, and him practicing.
So he does sumo wrestling after getting soft femdom from muscle mommies.
Yes.
Yeah. And you see it too. Like, he'll tell you, like, this is no joke. And then even with that video, and I'll talk about that next podcast or one down the line. The one thing that I at least appreciate from the guy, he goes, I was going against the green guys, the bottom of the tier, and I was struggling against them.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's even with sumo wrestling is also another thing with pride too. But yeah, moving right along. So I don't waste too much time. Games, Destiny 2 right now. I'm sorry, guys. It's prep time. Tuesday is the next update for anybody's listening. There's big updates for as armor. Armor's no longer valid. Those punks. So if you're a hoarder like me, guess what? We're gonna have to figure out this system. They introduced potions, which is new to Destiny. So it's supposed to be defense and offense on that part right there. So Space Marines 2 is kind of on a halt, but I'm gonna try to get back on it maybe Sunday.
Okay. In all fairness, the campaign's only like 8 hours long.
Yeah, I'm on operations now, so
Okay.
since the game prompted, hey, do operations. I know one. I'm not gonna do heavy. I'm gonna try to pick somebody else. That shield with the pistol. I don't know if it was AI or if it was actually somebody playing with me on operations, but they were surviving, and I'm like, okay, I might choose that one because he was messing them up with the shield. On a solemn note, I gotta put this on.
Hey, was the pistol attached to the shield?
No,
No. It's a
Oh.
storm shield and a bolt pistol.
yeah,
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was like a gun
basically,
blade,
it was
but like
taken
a shield gun.
No. It's more like a pop and pew pew.
in.
I get you.
It's like let me
Okay,
get
sorry.
plugged in the face while I plug you in the face.
Let me not ruin Rico's solemn moment here while he wears the hat.
Yeah, so this is the next level portion. Even though Hunter's not here, I'll do it. But I didn't have a Harry Potter hat. They put on this is the closest thing I had to a Harry Potter
I
hat.
see where we're going with this. Yep.
So if you guys weren't looking, there's a couple of people that went to the next level. Again, this is all about celebration of their work. But Maggie Smith, 89 years old. If you guys didn't see, she was one of the teachers in Harry Potter. Had 2 Oscars, 2 Emmys.
She wasn't any teacher. She was Professor McGonagall.
Mm-hmm.
Calm down, nerd.
The bad bitch herself. The queen. Yes.
But I was first introduced to her in Sister Act 1, and then she was also in Sister Act 2 on that one. And then later on with Harry Potter and a couple of shows on that one, which, funny to her credit, that she won 2 Oscars, 2 Emmys, 2 Tonys, and nobody really knew of her, supposedly, until she did Downtown Abbey, some show about the up-and-coming women in ancient British
Downton
time.
Abbey, right?
Downton Abbey, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a show that women like. I don't like it. Okay. John Amos.
Abbey is a wonderful show. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. John Amos also passed away, 84 years old. You know him from you may know him from the dad as Good Times, Roots, or Gus's uncle, Gus was named after him on Psych. Die Hard 2, he was the second mini boss. But of course, Coming to America, if you guys ever seen that one with McDowell's on that part. Unfortunately for him, it just got revealed he actually died 45 days ago.
Oh wow.
So there's a controversy because his family he was suffering from dementia and some other illnesses, but there was a strain on his other kids or whatever. So now there's accusations that one of the Amoses and 2 other people are suspected for foul play because his body's been cremated.
Oh, interesting.
And it was just announced now. So no autopsy.
So were they like collecting
natural
Social
causes.
Security or royalty checks or something like that?
The thing is, that's what the other family members are accusing, that it has to do something with his money, whatever. Because again, they didn't say anything, and then there's even though I didn't see a police report on it, but the so-called publicist supposedly was stated to the hospital that she was John Amos's daughter, and they allowed, I guess, her to be there or whatever like that. So now there's accusations on that one.
Okay.
Oh man, I just saw a notice. I forgot one guy, but
The director
John
of
Ashton.
Jaws?
No, John Ashton also passed away, 76. He was in Beverly Hills Cop, Midnight Run. He was a serious cop.
Okay. I know who he is.
Yeah, so he's been in a bunch of shows. Like, dude, this dude was in, at least for me growing up, he was in Wonder Woman, Columbo, MASH, Starsky and Hutch, Dallas, A-Team, The Twilight Zone. Like, he was in the 80s TV shows.
80s.
Yeah, besides doing movies with Beverly Hills Cop and stuff like that. Unfortunately, he passed away from cancer. For my sports nerds, we lost 2 athletes. Pete Rose, at 83 years old, natural causes.
Those baseball cards are really expensive now.
Yeah. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Whoever's listening to this, put him in the Hall of Fame. Everybody gambles now. Everybody gambles. Everybody's on steroids.
Yep.
Put him in the Hall of Fame on that one. But his claim to fame, again, he broke, was it Cop? Oh, I can't believe it. Was it Ty Young or Cops off record? But anyways, he had the best overall for his hitting average of .303 overall.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he has the most games. I thought Nolan Ryan had it, but he had like 17 All-Star. He was the National League MVP, World Series MVP. He's the Major League record holder as far as games played, plate appearances, National League record for the longest hitting streak, which was 44. Overall, he was like that. The only thing that got on him was just the gambling part, and I can't remember if they caught him or he admitted to gambling on the sport, and that's why he's never been in the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
To this day.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird because nowadays you got sports bets now, and I think, hell, you just had the Japanese baseball player, I forgot his name, where he got caught up in a gambling scandal. Supposedly it wasn't him, it was his agent or his translator that gambled $1 million. I think it was like $1 million or more of his own money. The baseball player, and so he took the hit. Allegedly, he took the hit. He was the one that spent the money on the gambling.
Yeah. Oof.
On that one. Kind of weird. Dikembe Mutombo, he actually died young, 58, from brain cancer. He was one of the greatest shot blockers. If you guys don't know who this guy is, he was famous for blocking people and then doing that.
No.
Yeah. And I didn't write down his quote, but he basically the way he came up with it was that he would block people's shot and basically tell them, like, hey, don't do that. Like, he warned them, but nobody took him serious. And then he started doing the thing. He's like, well, fuck this. I'm going to do this. And then he actually got technical fouls because of that.
What?
Yeah. I did not know that.
What, for like unsportsmanlike conduct?
Back in the day when talking shit wasn't nearly as
Yeah.
accepted, I guess, in the league is probably the best way to put it.
So he played mostly with the Denver Nuggets, Atlanta Hawks, Philadelphia 76ers. Just suffice to say, it was a big loss. I compare it to Roberto Clemente, who was a Puerto Rican baseball player for the Pittsburgh Pirates, because he was the first global ambassador. Like, everybody talked about how he was, especially for his native country, the Democratic Republic of Congo. But the fact that he did other things across the continent of Africa for the baseball and everything, there's a lot of people who took the loss very, very, very hard. I mean, on that one. But again, he was a top defensive player. Actually, he got second in blocks to was it Hakeem Olajuwon? I don't know if you guys ever know that guy. It was another African player for the Houston
I know
Rockets.
that guy. He was part of the dream team of the 94 through 96 Rockets. Hakeem Olajuwon, Hakeem the Dream.
Look, there's
Do
only
I know
one
him?
dream team, man, and it sure as
Well,
shit
you
wasn't
say you know
Boston.
him. Nico's like, sport. What is
What is a sport?
Forgive me, I forgot to mention one other person. I'll include him in the next podcast. But the guy who played Whistler, I was gonna say Whisper, and Blade. Oh, he passed away.
He passed away. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Unless I'm confusing it for somebody else, he passed away on that one. But again, with this section is more or less is highlighting these people in the nerd community on how they.
Wait, are you saying Hakeem Olajuwon has passed?
No. What I'm saying was when I mentioned him was he was Dikembe Mutombo came in second in blocks, but to his credit, it was to another athlete from Africa, was Hakeem Olajuwon. That's what I was saying.
There's an entire movie about his recruiting process, by the way.
Who, Hakeem Olajuwon?
Yes,
Well, I didn't know.
What's it called?
Dream, I believe.
Hold on. No, Adam Sandler wasn't in it. I think I know you're talking. It was somebody who yeah, but post in the chat. I think I know what you're talking about. The Kaluma part, PlayStation was down, but guys, don't worry. It wasn't about the ads they're trying to show us. So you PC guys don't have to worry about that.
Ads they're trying to show you?
Yeah, so they did it seems like PlayStation or Sony's trying to do a push, a thing to where now when you come to your home screen, when you log into PlayStation, there'll be ads that'll be there for other games and stuff like that. Sony says it was a bug and it wasn't this update that people were saying. But one thing that people
my
say
question is, if I bought into your ecosystem and I pay you to play online, why the fuck are you advertising to me?
You got me. Like I said, it doesn't make. That's why again, it doesn't make sense to how some games are so much dependent on being
I
online.
bet you anything, knowing Sony and their scumbag tactics as of late, this was probably their, oops, we accidentally released this patch, and they're just trying to see how bad the fallout would be if they made it permanent.
Well, people are upset to the point where I forgot, some dude in Sony basically tweeted out like, everybody calm down. It was a bug. It wasn't this ad thing. You guys are, tripping
that's
over
cool.
nothing.
If they start doing that, I have no problem unplugging my PlayStation and playing offline because I don't pay for the online services anymore, and I haven't purchased anything for the PlayStation in like a year. So all my shit is good on whatever update it's on.
To be fair, that's because the PS5 has like 14 titles, though.
Yeah, but it can play Bloodborne and Demon Souls, which is kind of all I use it for.
Very worthwhile investment.
Hell yeah.
So speaking of the PS4, PS5, I don't know if you guys noticed, a creator that goes by Dr. Jones 20 made a remake of PT. So I don't know if you guys remember when PT came out. That was a collab from
I
Guillermo
remember hearing about a remake in Unity, but I don't know. I didn't know there was anything like semi-official.
So there's a game called Dreams. Dreams is a game creation system.
Yes.
That video games where players can create games, music, paintings, animation, sculpture, movies, and more using the titles engine. So this guy decided, hey, I'm gonna make a dream version of the PT that is available on the PS4, PS5. And if you have VR, it's available in VR.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if you want to play that in VR. But to their credit, again with the Dream, not this person, but I guess somebody else created The Last of Us and Cyberpunk 2077 using that Dream creation thing. Which I'm like, why? But then again, there's people who created a one-in-one version of what is New York City in Minecraft. So
yeah, I have seen that.
So if there's a will, there's a way.
Several computers that people have made in Minecraft using redstone logic.
Yes.
Play Minecraft.
It gets so much deeper than that. Some people have created computers to then play other games that are not just Minecraft. Like it started with Pong years ago.
Dude, you can play Doom in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Literally, you can run Doom in anything. Yeah, there's somebody who made a working version of Doom in Minecraft.
Yeah, it seems like every couple months there's a brand new game that's developed for it, and it's so cool to watch.
Bonkers.
And the level of just like mental derangement that you must have in order to say, I'm gonna make this and actually follow through on it. It is unfathomable to me, but it's so cool.
I mean, dude, it's just logic. It's logic in the same way that a computer works. I mean, redstone logic, redstone on, redstone off, redstone delay. Because I mean, like for any electrical signal, there's only two things you can do with it, right?
On and off.
What is that? On and off is one. You can switch it, right? Or what? You can modulate it. There's two things you can do with it, and that's it, man.
Which makes sense. But
yeah,
it's
so
like you have to build the computer, then you have to build the game and everything else. Like you're investing thousands of hours in it. I get it. It's really cool. If that's your hobby, like by all means do it. But the idea of having to sit down there, even if somebody was paying me 40 hours a week to develop this, my head would be through that wall on an hourly basis. There's no way.
It seems like I feel like it's part of the spectrum, some type of autism or that's not a dig to anybody.
Man is intended to create. Why are we doing this podcast? Why are we doing this podcast if not to be creative, to be heard and say, I am here? It's in the same. It's the same exact reason.
We need to.
What I'm saying
is we need to remake this. No, Glenn, you brought up a good point. We are going to need to remake this podcast in Minecraft.
But that's what I'm saying is that the reason why people create things is because of the fact that we want to be creative and it is in our nature to create, because we are the forces that fight entropy in this world. That is our purpose.
It's really
Rico,
cool.
I just have to say that shark is giving you the most sensual caress on your head. It is kind of disturbing. It looks like you're getting sucked off by a shark.
I really don't want to look at your browser history, but this is kind of ode to Uzumaki's work in episode 1. And speaking of that one, win for the little guys. The U.S. Trade Office counsels Marvel and DC's superhero marks. So I don't know if you guys if it came on your feeds, but essentially DC was suing a company, or SJ Richholtz Super Babies, because they trademarked Super Babies. Mm-hmm. And since they did that, DC was saying, hey, you can't do that, and we're going to sue you for legal actions. So essentially the trademark office said, like, one, the fact that you're trying to trademark it, you're trying to trademark a genre. So basically, they were making it to where if we came up with our own comic book and we call somebody a superhero, they can sue us for using superheroes, or anything that was related to it.
Mm.
The other thing that was kind of funny, which I don't know you could, their other main argument was that Marvel and DC were trying to claim ownership of the entire genre with their trademarks that they jointly own. So supposedly you can't own a trademark together. It has to be one person. That's it.
Yeah.
How that went throughout the whole years, because I think they started the trademark in 1967. So even if they went 67, not, let's say it didn't come out in 37, but 67 to now, they hold both of those guys jointly hold the ownership of superheroes, which makes no sense how they went this long.
Well, you know what's funny though that you mentioned that. I don't ever remember any other comic book company calling their characters superheroes. Now that you mention it.
Well, it's like, I mean, whenever you have superheroes in a show, I mean, they don't ever call them superheroes. They call them either heroes or enhanced people or soups or something like that. Yeah. It's never supermen or superwomen or super people. Yeah.
Yeah, like the boys. Do they ever say?
They never say superheroes. They call them soups.
Yeah, they do.
That is pretty interesting.
That's true. Then Homelander goes, "You are the heroes."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now I guess anybody can use superheroes. But yeah, both Marvel and DC, they were owning 4 federal trademarks jointly covering superhero and superhero. So again, that's great. Because to me, it reminds me of the Nintendo. That's why I covered it, like the Nintendo patent infringement thing. It's like how are you putting patents on general statements or general mechanics? Like nobody else is going to think that. I feel like that's like if you came up with a bomb, unless it's like the same chemical formula, or whatever. Like how are you just saying, hey, you can't make a bomb because we came up with this bomb?
No, what I like about this though is it might set precedents for copyright laws in the future where this generic trademark bullshit goes away.
Yeah, that's like if Wizard of the Coast said nobody can call their character a wizard. We own the name Wizard.
Exactly.
Like, how do you own that shit? Like, it doesn't make no sense to me. But that concludes my week. This week. So to hand it off, what do you say, Gordo? Okay, we'll give it to Glenn. Glenn, yeah. Glenn, off to you.
All right. So I've had a hell of a week. It's been quite interesting. So on top of the public announcement of my new role in Scyther Inc.'s drama as Cameron Hodge in their X-Men audio drama, I've also been picked up as a writer and producer for a small project that is slowly but surely gaining lots and lots of traction online with Talkie's Radio Show. It is a surreal stoner comedy about a talking radio that exists in an empty void. Its technology allows it to tap into multi-universal media streams through its hyper quantum flux receiver. It has no personality, it has no consciousness, and it just says random stuff all the time.
So it's the interdimensional TV from Rick and Morty, but as a radio.
Well, see, there's the thing. Along with Talkie, there's also TV that exists in the void with him. So yeah, the show, it was kind of inspired by oddball humor shows like Adult Swim's Space Ghost and the Newgrounds Flash cartoons, in terms of like bizarre banter, dry jokes, and the uncanny vibe that kind of leaves you questioning reality. Like, I don't partake, but let me tell you, it's a great show to watch if you're high. Apparently, at least that's what we've gotten from several of our viewers.
All right.
It's been quite interesting. There's a season 1 trailer up currently. The name of the channel is called Azakela. It's Azakaela, and it's Talkie's Radio Show. That's TAWKY' Radio Show. So there's 3 episodes out already, and we are currently working on episode 4, which will be where I have my first writing and producing credits on that one, because that's where I jumped in. And so, yeah, it's been interesting. It was kind of funny. The creator of the show, whenever they saw my takes on the audition, and then also some of the suggestions and questions that I had for the show, they're like, "Bro, you get it. You get it. Like, dude, you want to be a producer?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, I'll be a producer." And so episode 4 is going to show a lot of my voice,
Nice.
a lot of my voice, where I play things like an agent and a orc weatherman and a castaway who has survived on an island for a while. And in future episodes, I'll be playing Can of Spam. So yeah, it's
Oh yeah.
it's rather spectacular. Really, really great show so far. It has some animations that are reminiscent of other indie titles. They also have merch coming out here soon. Well, I'm sorry, the merch is already out, but like there's more merch coming with Talkie and his various personalities on television, on screen, with different personalities going. I'm going to have to buy the Orc Weatherman, also known as Scrog, his T-shirt, if not because of the fact of an obligation since I voice acted him. So
Yeah, he reminded me. I forgot the character in Future. I forgot the name of the character in Futurama. Like listening to that reminded me of
the news anchor.
Yeah. That would have.
Yeah.
At first, would have reminded me of. I'm like, oh, okay, I got this. This is pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I showed a couple of the guys here on the show a little taste of kind of what I was working with, and so far we'll see how it goes. It looks like it's really catching on. We're actually gathering quite an audience. We had 300 subscribers in the past like 2 or 3 days.
Nice.
Like,
well, now there's
just
301.
like, you know,
I just subbed.
All right, rock on, bud. And so yeah, I'm stupid excited about it. And I invite everybody who listens to the show to please join in subscribing and watch this show and that show to get us known, man. Spread the word. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great.
Yeah, I was leaving for jujitsu when you sent the Orc Weatherman clip, and I didn't read anything that you had wrote. I just saw that I was tagged in it. It's like, all right, I've only got a second. Let me listen to this. I cannot tell you how fucking confused I was about what I was listening to when there was no context.
Did you like it though?
Yeah, it was funny. I was like, this is what is happening? I don't understand.
So yeah, please watch it. We release all our new episodes every Wednesday at 11 a.m. And you too can enjoy the classic antics of the Orc Weatherman Scrog. Something else I picked up today while I was over at Barnes & Noble for grabbing a present for my...
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Due to technical difficulties, it looks like Glenn has frozen in time. Oh, there he goes. And you're back.
God. Okay. All right. Everybody froze. And I was like, why is everybody not talking? Where did I stop?
You went to Barnes & Noble to pick up a gift for, and then you roboted out.
Okay. So I picked up a present for my dear 7-year-old son, who's going to be turning, 6-year-old son who's turning 7 tomorrow. It's really exciting. But while I was there, I found this. It is a graphic novel for At the Mountain. Yes. It is a manga that was adapted by Gu Tanabe. And
I was there today too, and I saw that they also had Dagon. They had the manga version of Dagon at my Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, but I mean, like the artwork.
Oh yeah, dude, the artwork is fucking sick.
This is full page.
Mm-hmm.
Spectacular.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Beautiful drawings.
Have you read the Junji Ito's H.P. Lovecraft stories yet?
Which one?
He had a collection. It was a collection of stories by H.P. Lovecraft, done by Junji Ito.
Which one is that? Is that Fragments of Horror? Is that
No, it was actually called the
Shiver,
H.P. Lovecraft Collection. We
Are you
talked
telling me
about
that
this
there's
like the second day you were on the show.
So there's a book that I don't own, is what you're telling me.
Keep talking.
Uh-oh.
He's going to prove that you don't own it.
No, I know. No, if I don't own it, I need to get it. I pride myself on the fact that I own everything he has. Okay.
Suffice to say, you're obsessed. That's what I'm getting at.
Not obsessed, a little upset. Well, let me see. What does it look like? Let me
All
see.
right. So you know how we go through every episode where I say something so unequivocally stupid? This is that time. It was actually by Go Tanabe. I have the Hound.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have the Hound in other stories. So that's on me.
Okay.
I thought it was Junji Ito.
I was going to say, I was like, I own everything. I know I own everything. I know, damn it. But
I think
Glenn
work just
nervous,
looked like
like, he
Junji
was
Ito's
like,
work, and that's why I think I just didn't. I just stopped using my brain.
okay, so that book is made by the same guy who
Yeah.
did the Hounds. As an H.P. Lovecraft fan, I thought it would be really cool because I love the Mountains of Madness. This is one of his few long form stories that he has.
Mm-hmm.
Another one being The Call of Cthulhu, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that was something else I picked up today.
Fantastic artwork too. I know you said that already, but
yeah.
like going through it all, it looks really, really clean.
Yeah, on the video game landscape. So I picked up and played 2 games this week.
Okay.
One of which was called "Thank Goodness You're Here," and it is a game about you being this little guy who goes and solves people's problems. There's no quest book or anything like that. The only way that you really track the quest is by whenever somebody goes up to you and says, "Oh, thank goodness you're here," and then says, "I lost my fish inside the drain, and somebody needs to go get it." And then you go down there, and the Rat King's like, "Oh, thank goodness you're here. I left my cheese upstairs, and it's being guarded by another rat who won't give me any," and so on and so forth, right?
Mhm.
And the only controls that you have inside this game is the movement. You can jump, and you can slap. Right?
Okay.
And you're just this little itty bitty guy. And so you're going around like slapping these people's asses in order to get their attention, right? And it's like, and they're like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh," as you're sitting there slapping them. And it's great. It's
I
excellent.
don't know why, but I'm
slapstick
getting
humor
jazz punk vibes from that.
It's
I get
animated.
master.
Okay.
I get master of
It's
disguise.
animated in not like a 3D sort of thing. But
Got
yes,
it.
jazz punk. Oh, jazz punk. Chef's kiss. That's such a good game. Have you played the director's cut of that?
Not yet.
Okay, there's a director's cut along with a extra game, or sorry, a DLC that comes with that.
Okay.
Highly suggest it.
I have it. It's on my list.
You need to play it.
Now, I've realized this.
You need to play it.
Don't you give me those eyes.
Do it.
Give
Do it
me
now.
those eyes.
I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Oh, we can't be friends anymore because I haven't played the director's cut of Jazz Punk. I'm so sorry that you value our friendship so highly.
I do. So, anyways, apart from playing that, it really did. No, it's a great game. So yeah, if you get the chance to, also, little known fact, not exactly advertised, but apparently if you beat the game, there's a website that is given out at the end of the game in the credits, right?
Mhm.
And you can go to that website, and there's a little thing that says, "Hey, send us a self-addressed envelope inside another envelope, and write us a little note telling you what you thought about the game, and we'll send you something nice for beating the game."
Oh, interesting.
And so I am now going to be mailing this letter over to, thank goodness.
You absolute. Wait. You didn't put your address on there, right?
I
He
did,
did, but he
except
covered it up with his hands. This is the first time.
Thank God,
in
this is the
months
first
has
time
not
Glenn doxed himself, but didn't dox himself.
right.
Jesus Christ.
I covered it with my hand.
I'm not gonna lie, I
so
almost had a
proud of
heart
you for
attack because then
growing.
I'd have to learn how to do blur filters.
Right.
Well, according to Pirate Software, don't do blurs, do blocks, because blurs can be taken out.
This is true.
Yeah. Fun fact. TSM was one of the first North American gaming organizations that really got big in the League of Legends scene. And the way that they did it was that they could not afford to travel to Europe to train with the European teams or out to Asia to train with them before their areas got really big. And so they started doing vlogs. They were the first North American gaming org that did like house vlogs to help get you to know the players and everything else, to then get you to go to their streams to bring in the revenue that way, right? Because everybody lived in one house at the time. And they continued doing that for years, even after the scene matured and their organization started be working tens of $100+ million at one point. And they decided to keep those vlogs going, only they became a week over week event of, we're going to talk about how the team did in the LCS last week, because they play 2 games every week against other teams in that league, and then whoever wins at the end of the year gets to go to the World Championships. But they would give like dives into the guys that are on the team, what they thought of their performance. They would give some backstage footage of like behind the scenes when they're prepping for games and things, and then they'd be like showing that they're playing scrim matches with other organizations, but they would blur out the game or they would blur out the champions. However, they did not know, or at least the video editing team did not know, that the blur effect can be removed. And so week over week for years, because no other organization told them that they were spying on them through these videos that they were dropping on YouTube every week, they knew what picks they were getting, they knew who they were scrimming against, they saw performance metrics, everything else from these vlogs. And that they were such a good team for years, it didn't make a difference. But once they started having their downfall and it didn't become worth it for other teams to do this, then they started telling them about it and announced it online, and then they had to go to blocks instead of blurs and everything else.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. That's nutty. So yeah, that's great.
That's
So
a nerd.
anyways.
That's a nerd moment right there. That Hunter did.
There you go.
That was
Yeah,
deep
is he
dive.
sitting on the floor fixing something? I'm assuming.
No, I'm wrapping presents in pretty unicorn wrapping paper because my daughter's birthday is tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
Wait, dude, how old is she?
4.
4. Oh, okay.
My son just turned 7 a couple months ago.
Yeah, I was going to say my son is turning 7 tomorrow. So my daughter and your daughter and my son have the same birthday. That's kind of cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, 10-4. It's a good day.
I'm more partial to 10-7, but I'm biased.
Yeah, you are.
That's when Captain Fatty Pants was born.
You shouldn't talk about yourself that way, man. That's not nice. You should respect yourself more.
So a second game that I picked up because I was going to be playing with Slimadime on stream is a game called Lightyear Frontier, and it's essentially like a Stardew Valley farming sim where you're trying to clean up the environment and feed the animals and harvest materials and stuff like that, except with mechs.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's still in early access. But I mean, overall, like the mech controls and the game design as a whole is actually really, really fun. And you can more or less create a self-functioning farm that is able to give you upgrades for your mech, so you can do things better and clean up the environment. Because that's the whole point of the game, is to basically like remove this like void goo that is infecting it, and then you feed the animals in order to improve resource replenishment in that particular region. All in all, really, really fun. Really, really fun game. Apart from that, I picked up Pal World before
it gets delisted.
Before it gets delisted, right? It's because you never know. And so,
what do you think?
What's that?
What do you think of Pal World?
Oh, it's great. I mean, as a fan of Pokemon and Koromon and Digimon, Pal World was right up my alley. So yeah, totes.
How much have you started playing it?
I've only played it for a little bit, maybe an hour or so. So
okay.
Just still about how much time I have in it. So
I'm not deep into the slave labor just yet, but I'm getting there.
You get real deep into it. But also they just announced that they're going to make a mobile version of Pal World.
Ooh, nice.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah. Like, we're suing you. It's like, Cool, make it mobile instead. More people can have access to it.
Yeah, that's great. But yeah, apart from that, my week's been pretty good. I've had lots of time doing writing and voice acting for the show, and yeah, I've just been busy as hell. I had a conversation with James. He will be coming here next week to guest on our show, and so y'all finally get to meet Mr. Alston himself and the spectacularly buttery voice that man has. God, I love it.
If he doesn't sing
like
"Walking in Memphis," I swear to God, I'm gonna be mad for you blue balling me.
I'm just gonna say he might do it if you ask, but he might also laugh it off and be like, "What are you trying to make me do?" So on and so forth. Because that's.
I will
James.
do my best to get him to sing "Walking on Memphis."
Yeah. Also later on, I may have convinced as Akela of the Talkies radio talk radio show
Coming onto our shit show
to come on to our shit show and talk about the project if in the case you guys are up for it.
Oh yeah,
What say
totally.
you, gentlemen? Awesome.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Absolutely.
That was sarcasm.
Hunt, you're the one who got me involved in voice acting in the first place, Hunter. This is your fault.
It is. I do take responsibility for this.
It's all for you.
It sounds like a person I knew that got me started in D&D and then just let me hung out and dry after I got minis.
Wonder who that could be.
I painted minis and I bought the books. I was watching videos of how to do stuff. I was really getting into my character. Came up with a whole 30-page backstory of them, and then it was just that was it.
Then they had to
You actually
move away.
write 30 pages of backstory?
In my mind, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, you're an asshole.
In my defense, I had to move because the army told me to.
It was actually, in all honesty, it was kind of Glenn's fault too, not just mine.
Nope. It all falls on
No,
you.
you're
talking about Nico. I thought it was me.
No.
No, he's throwing me
I
under the
met
bus.
I met you through him. Like when he introduced me, it's when this was like your last somewhat hurrah, and then everybody just dispersed from you PCSing. I think one of the contractors got another job, or whatever, and it's like I was like, what the heck's going on? And then a new group formed up, and then that was like before COVID, and that fell apart.
Yeah, and then COVID happened, and nobody got to have fun with friends.
And I was like, "Yo, when are we gonna get back together? I got this guy. Matter of fact, I came up with three. I came up with three characters. Mm-hmm. That's how much I got into it.
So there is a show on my channel that we could throw up on Roll20 and continue with the Recon Espionage Tactics and Rescue Division and their antics in the California wastelands. If y'all want to do a D&D episode.
Or I can take you into the world of darkness.
I don't want to go into the world of darkness. Last time I went there, I became a pot-smoking psychic.
And I can tell
I
you
want to
just
go to the
how
world
deep
of
the rabbit
darkness.
hole
That sounds like
goes.
fun.
I want to get chocolate wasted. Gotcha.
What did
No,
you
I would be more than-
what path did you set me down? Was it mage or because he was?
It was Mage the Ascension.
Mage the Ascension, okay.
And you were part of the Cult of Ecstasy, which is basically a bunch of hedonistic, experience-seeking time mages because time goes faster when you're having a good time.
Yeah, and the best part was every time I toked up, time would just slow down or stop.
If you guys wouldn't mind, can you drop me a pin on Google Maps for their headquarters?
I think it's somewhere in Seattle nowadays.
Damn,
but,
dude, Sober October's been hitting you hard.
Did you have no idea?
It's been 2 days, man.
You have no idea.
Don't tell him about No Nut November.
Oh God. Anyways, but that's my week. We always leave Nico last, so let's take it over to Nico because Hunter showed up late.
I feel so special. Okay, so for my week, fuck
I
you.
really didn't get
So for my week, I rewatched Deadpool because it just got dropped on streaming services. Still holds up. I was able to catch a few more Easter eggs that I missed.
I'm sorry. Did you just say still holds up for a movie that
Yeah,
released
as in
3 months ago?
No. I mean that in okay. The wording was probably wrong. However,
It always is from you.
yes, I was looking at it now from a movie standpoint instead of a oh my god, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are finally doing it standpoint. So the hype was gone.
In the movie?
No Diddy.
Yeah, no Diddy. No, so the hype was gone. So now I'm watching it as just like sitting down and watching a movie, and I still enjoyed it the exact same.
Can you pause real quick?
Paused.
Glenn, what type of hammer mic is that you have?
You missed that entire conversation we had.
This is
before.
my,
Yeah, 'cause I was
this is my
doing something else. I had
isolation
to block
chamber.
us.
This is my isolation chamber in Pop Guard. Here it is. Here it is. Look at that. Yeah, there you go.
He's going
There we
fancy
are.
because he's now a big VO star.
Oh.
Does that fit on
and
Yetis?
so it
Hey,
is
put
a
it in the
Yeti.
chat.
No,
It's on a
that's
Yeti.
what I have is a Yeti. It's on a Yeti.
Can you send me the Amazon link for that? I tried that. I tried an
Yeah,
isolation
there's
shield, and I
a hole
could
on the
not-
bottom that it fits into, and it just like pops on top, and there you go.
And it does actually sound
Awesome.
better. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah, and
isolation
also
shield.
the pop filter comes off as well. It's double walled, and it just kind of like goes into the pop filter like so,
Nice.
or isolation, and then you just pop it on your mic, and
That's
there you go.
yeah, the isolation
dope?
shield that I got. I had you guys test.
So
out
for the
me.
audio only listeners,
Tried
Glenn
both
took it,
recordings.
stuffed it inside, and then stuffed it inside again.
The way it should be. It's like I'm just asking for a mic.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'll send you the link. It was actually suggested by our friends over at Scyther Inc. for somebody who was looking for a new mic. And they were like, oh, yeah, check this isolation thing out. And so, yeah, Scyther's to blame for this purchase.
Fair.
So, yeah.
I am thinking
all in
about
all.
getting an upgraded mic because mine's one of the, it's the front facing one. I kind of want the top facing one where the microphone's at the top instead of on the side. Because I feel like that would actually be easier to maneuver it so it doesn't look like I have a giant piece of plastic popping up into my chin.
I don't understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Apparently, I
Why
don't
is-
either. So my microphone, you can't really see it, but it doesn't take audio from the top. As far as like if I'm talking right here, it's not getting it as clearly as it would if I'm talking right here because the actual pickup is the round circle and on top is the mute button.
Oh,
If
yeah.
that makes sense.
No, it does because every time we go boop, we hear it.
Yeah. So like the HyperX is a great microphone. It's just I want something different in my life. Anyway, what were we talking? My week. Okay, watched Deadpool again. Was still good. I have been obsessed with Digital Tamer 2 since Glenn talked about Digimon, so I'm just gonna throw it out there. There is a new freeware Digimon game called Digital Tamer 2. It's on itch.io. It is stupid fun. It's what I wish Digimon games were back on the PS1. I've been having a fun time with that. I am 5 evolution tokens away from getting my boy Dukemon. I'm not a huge Digimon fan, but there's something about a giant half robot, half dragon knight with a lance that's just, it speaks to me in ways. Aside from that,
I always saw you as a Lance fan.
fuck off.
Both fans of lances and lance-shaped things.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for.
He was the best member of NSYNC, just so we're on the same page.
You're not wrong, actually. Okay,
So your name's Lance? What's up?
So aside from that, I finished the first volume of The End and the Death, which is the end of the Horus Heresy novels for Warhammer 30,000. It was really good. It left off on a really good cliffhanger. And as soon as I started out book 2, after like the first little chunk, went right back into it. I was like, yes, I like where this is going. I'm starting to understand how they stretched out the ending to 3 volumes. And it totally makes sense to me. I still have theories. Because there are some interesting theories that have been going around on the internet about the Emperor and his death. Well, semi-death. But
Did he get a new groove?
no, yeah, he kind of got deaded, but not dead. It's hard. We don't have enough time, and I don't have enough energy to explain it. Anyway, suffice it to say,
stranger.
it's pretty good. I like it. I'm very curious to see if this kind of answers some questions I've always had about the fall of Horus and everything. So I'm really excited to get further into that. For TV, I've been watching Trailer Park Boys, and I finished up the first season of Banshee. Banshee's still really, really, really good. I'm about halfway through season 2 now. You guys really need to watch it. Anthony Starr fucking kills it in that show. And
Did I tell you how much I hate the fact that he is doing those commercials for that mobile game that everybody hates?
dude, Arnie did those too, though. Like,
I just hate that he's selling himself like that.
that's fair.
It's like, dude, you're higher value than this. You don't need to be, advertising for.
Hey man, a
game.
paycheck's
Like,
a paycheck.
I'm not
Today.
I'm not going to name the game because I
yeah.
hate it that much. It's like we made a game that
called
looks like
Last
that
Word.
fake game. Stop it! Don't say it. Don't give it power.
There
Yeah,
actually
that's
is-
what I was gonna say about.
There are 2 games you can purchase on the Switch that kind of tie into that. I think it's actually called, that game you always see commercials for, but you can't play? Well, here they are. There's 2 volumes of it, and it's all those games that you see in the ads, but as actual video
It's
games.
also on Steam.
Yeah,
It's also on Steam.
I bought both of them. They are stupid fun time wasters.
Is there achievements?
I think on Steam there is, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I
so
might
if there's
get it.
achievements, you're down. But if
He
it's
likes
You
to
know,
say
I'm,
that number.
I'm a
actual
little bit.
mobile game,
I'm a little bit of an achievement monkey. Like if you take a look at my Steam profile, like I'm like level 92.
Yeah,
with it's like stupid.
okay,
You can ask
here's
Hunter.
the real test.
You can ask Hunter.
Here's the real test of whether or not you're an achievements whore. Back in the Xbox 360 days, did you rent Avatar: The Last Airbender from Blockbuster for 24 hours to get all 1,000 points for the achievements? Because it is legitimately the easiest game in the world to get all 100% achievements on.
I never owned an Xbox. I was primarily a PC gamer, and I got a PS3 while I was in Germany that I used until about a couple of months ago when it finally gave it the ghost. I'm not a console gamer, save for Switch, but only because of the fact that it has Pokemon.
That's fair. So Hunter can attest to this. He was the achievement whore. I could have cared less. Like I don't care about Steam achievements. In fact, I actually find it fucking annoying because I don't want to see something pop up on the bottom of the screen because I did something. I'm playing the game.
You don't understand how dopamine hits work then.
I do. I've played Vampire Survivors.
I have 5,304 achievements in Steam with 76 perfect games, with a library of over 2,000 games.
Congratulations.
With a 29% average game completion rate.
The only game I've platinumed that I have is Elden Ring. That's it. And the only reason I know I platinumed it is because at one point I was like, wait, how close am I to seeing all the content? And that's what I used to judge it.
I platinumed the Stick of Truth, Skullgirls, Jazzpunk, the Director's Cut, Skyrim, Paradise Killer, Zero Time Dilemma, and many, many others, to include the aforementioned game that I had talked about 100%ing.
Okay.
That I don't want to repeat because I'm ashamed.
It's called Last War.
No. It's a honey. It's probably Honey Pop or some Sakura game. It was a porn game. And he muted himself.
I'm not actually, I said I'm not actually ashamed of that. I have 100% Honey Pop and several Sakura games. That's not a bad thing.
What's the one you're ashamed of then?
I don't want to say.
Say it.
But I've said before.
I mean,
No.
yeah.
Just say it.
I've said it
I
before.
wasn't there for that pod.
I wasn't there for that pod either.
You had a comment on it. I guess our users, or I should say viewers, will have to go back and double check just to see, because for now, I'm going to be playing coy.
Bastard.
Okay, so while you fish it up over there, bro, I think that because of Space Marine and because of the Horse Heresy, I've been like, okay, maybe I should, maybe let's just go dig around and see what I can find. So on an adventure to Second Charles, I ended up leaving with a Nintendo Switch Pro controller that I paid $6 for. Just needs a cleaning. Other than that, it's 100% working. So super fun purchase. I also got a
Here's mine.
The one
it's
I got is
Pikachu
just black.
themed. It's Pikachu and wireless.
Nice. Well, you see, this was an official Nintendo Switch Pro controller, so I was like, for $6, I can't not buy it. And they had another one for
That's official.
$16. Yeah. Oh, that's the official one. Oh, fair enough.
That is an official one.
I did not know that.
It's got Pikachu on it.
Nice. Well, no, I
Yeah.
thought it was like Powerade did all their ones with like skins and stuff. It's probably Powerade. Did I just blow your mind?
I thought this was officially licensed by Nintendo.
No, it would have been either PDP or.
Oh wait, no. It is. Hold on.
It's
It is
licensed
officially
by
licensed
Nintendo,
by.
but it's not. It
Yeah.
wasn't created by Nintendo. It was created probably by.
It says Power A.
Yeah.
And
By
then
Nintendo.
Nintendo licensed by Nintendo and the
Yep.
Pokemon Company International.
Yeah, no, the one I got was actually an official Nintendo Pro controller, the one that they produce. So
And I thought
$6
it was
as
just shitty
opposed
on
to
its own.
$60 was.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I would honestly recommend looking into the actual Pro controller. It is a really good controller, minus the D-pad, which is really weird how Nintendo kind of fucked up a D-pad when they like revolutionized it. But aside from the D-pad, it is great, and you just click the home button and it turns your Switch on, which is super nice. But not if it's in your backpack.
Oh, that's all controllers that
not all controllers.
like that.
Some of them do not.
Well, mine does.
Oh, never mind. If it does it, then yeah, good for you. I also got a box of 10 Sisters of Battle, which then led to me buying a store demo kit and a I'm going to get this wrong. A Daradio Dreadnought from Warhammer 30K, which is just a giant stompy robot with like twin autocannons and just badassery. But the store demo kit was really interesting because it's what you would get when you're starting to, if you're starting up a store, like a cards gaming store, and you go, hey, Games Workshop, we want to carry your shit. What they'll do is they'll send you this demo kit pretty much. And they're like, hey, use it in the store. When you're done with it, you can sell it. That's fine. And then kind of so on and so forth. So inside the box, you get a little booklet that tells you all about like Warhammer and Age of Sigmar. Another booklet which has their catalog for purchasing, which is really interesting because I have to double check it. I think it has the store prices, like what the stores actually pay for the stuff, and I'd love to do the math difference on the two. It also came with the introductory set for Warhammer 40K, a start painting kit for Age of Sigmar. So it came with I think it's the last one they did, which it only came with two. Whatever the Sigmarines are called, I can't remember. The Stormcast. It comes with two Stormcast Eternals and like a shit ton of paints, and then a Primaris Redemptor Dreadnought, the one from Space Marine. I got one of them too. So I got two stompy robots and a shit ton of other miniatures. Oh, and I bought the new Chaos Cultists that they released. I think they're called the Jackals. So I started putting those together, and I realize I have a problem because I have no idea what the hell I'm going to do with these miniatures. I don't play games.
That's not your problem.
Shut up.
That's very much not your problem. Do you know what your problem is?
What's my problem?
How much money did you spend on your 3D printer?
I don't know. Dad bought it for me.
Okay, let's say probably $200-300. It's about average price
Sure.
for a 3D printer, right? Oh, it's resin, so maybe a little bit more. But still,
Resin, you can get the Elegoo Mars like under $200.
sure.
How much
But
you pay for
have a
that T-shirt,
3D
bro?
Old
What
Navy,
was that?
$15.99.
I have no idea, but my wife got it.
It was
But
probably 20 something. That's too much for a T-shirt, bro.
probably, I don't disagree. Again, I didn't buy it. But you have a 3D printer that can make all of these things. You didn't even have to pay for the 3D printer, but rather than paying the 30 cents in filament, you chose to go to a shop and buy all of this instead.
Are you saying that he should
Listen, a
pirate
fool and his money is easily parted.
official
Okay?
stuff?
I'm saying he should be financially literate at this point in his life.
Nah, I got a couple more years before I have to be. It's fine. But yeah, so that was my week. However, there is some quick news to get out of the way. Coming out next week is Faith by New Blood Studio on consoles. So I know the Switch is getting it. I think the PlayStation 5 will be getting it. Don't know about Xbox. But it is a cool, like, old school style survival horror game where you play a priest going and exorcising demons.
That is a great game.
Yes, it came out on the PC.
Game.
What was it, about a year or two ago?
Yeah,
it came out a little while ago, but it's coming to consoles, and it is it's chef's kiss. The other one that's coming out, I think in 2 weeks, is Crow County, which is a new survival horror game in the vein of Resident Evil, but if Resident Evil was done by Square Enix using the Final Fantasy VII models.
It's funny that you say this, because whenever I was making suggestions to Slimadime for the month of October for spooky posting different games, I suggested both of those games to them on top of Neverending Nightmares.
Neverending Nightmares is pretty good.
Yeah, and My Friendly Neighbor, which is the Muppet game.
Yeah, that's the puppet
the
shooter.
Muppet Mascot Horror.
Yep.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. It's just weird that you mentioned those two things, because I was like, I just posted those to Slimadime's server.
Fair enough. Other than that, there was so I don't know if you guys know about the Dragon Quest III remake controversy going on right now. I would actually call it a controversy.
Do we really want to get into remakes again today?
No, this one's
really
You didn't
quick.
enjoy
it last week.
Fair. No, so there is a little bit of quote-unquote censorship with Dragon Quest III. What is being censored, you might ask? Well...
nipples.
No nipples, actually. So the barbarian model, like the game works, the job classes, you can have your male and female characters, right? So they'll show generic images for both. Well, the female, instead of in the original artwork that Akira Toriyama did, where you could see cleavage and here's my crotch line, now she's wearing like leather, like skin tight leather like short shorts, and a leather sports bra. And apparently this has put the internet into a frenzy over censorship. And I think the wasn't the Valkyrie or the Knight class, they kind of, instead of the cleavage being like down here like Mei Shiranui from King of Fighters, it's now like a moderate, like up to here. So apparently this is calling for boycotting all of Square Enix, which I think is just fucking stupid. So the creator of the game went back and said, listen, we understand that you don't like that this was censored. We kind of don't too, but you have to think of it from our perspective. We're trying to make this game for everybody to enjoy. But given the current climate, if we were to release it, not everybody would get to enjoy the game because the rating would be too high.
You know, it's funny because they've been doing this for years. Whenever they localized a lot of the Final Fantasy games, they actually had to change some of the sprites because they were quote unquote too racy.
But they've done that with every game when they brought it over here. And like for the
so I don't see what the big controversy is.
The big controversy is because when Dragon Quest III first came out over here, those images weren't censored. Some people are saying, "Oh, censorship! It's Sony trying to ruin everything." Because apparently Sony are the ones that lost their horny, but Nintendo picked it up. Because Nintendo has a bunch of the racier games now, and it seems that like Sony has definitely dialed back the perv. I
mean, ever since they gave that crown to Bowser,
Yeah, exactly.
How dare they not degrade half the population so the incels can be happy?
Exactly.
Fucking weebs.
But no, the other thing
Where am I
was
gonna get my spank bank now?
One camp is saying, "Oh, well, now you're just ruining Akira Toriyama's art." Which, in all fairness, not really. They're just adding a rated T for teen filter on there, so it can get an E for everybody.
This is like whenever they, painted cloths over the frescoes in the Sistine Chapel. It's the same sort of bullshit. I mean,
No, it is, but at the same time, I'm like, look,
The human body isn't inherently dirty. It is a beautiful thing that is meant to be enjoyed by some of age.
and there you go. That's it. All comes down to the ratings.
Yeah, years ago, we're going to harp back on League now because this was another fun controversy there in the community. Riot Games had decided that their male characters were too scandalous. We're just going to ignore Big Booty Aurelia and all of the cleavage on every misfortune model and splash art possible. But where they drew a line...
It was Sun Wukong's big monkey ass, right?
Absolutely not. Everyone loves that. It's still there. Where they drew the line is that Gragas's nipples and Gray's nipples were just too scandalous in their splash arts when on the loading screen.
Are they male or female characters?
They're male characters. So they just painted over them, and they're just they're just skin colored. And the community had a big hubbub about that. So when they released
heavens
the new
me!
character,
I had to see man nipples.
yeah. So a few years later, when they released,
Were they
a new
like
character
poofy or something?
No, they're just slightly
nips.
darker colored rings. They're just standard male
Dark colored
nipples.
circles.
It's
Yeah.
Batman all over again.
But were they the same color as their lips and asshole?
Asshole, don't know. I mean, there's subs that I can look at, but I feel like that's subjective based on the artist's tastes. But they when they released
What is your
another
taste in
character-
asshole color?
Ooh,
I like a frothy pink, really, when I think about it.
see, I prefer them to be a little
What a
bit
nice,
darker.
deep
I can't
olivine
tell if
tan.
there's issues.
It's weird.
I love Weird and Rico out. It's always fun when booties come up. But yeah,
It's a
a couple
brown
years
eye.
later,
It should be brown, goddammit.
they released another character called Kane, and he just has a big old chunk of an aerial on his chest, and they left that in there. So not only did they have the first controversy of the fact that they quote unquote ruined Graves because you couldn't see his nipples in any of his splash arts, then they made it worse by releasing another character in which you could see his nipples, and that was both offensive that they did that and that they didn't go back and retroactively add nipples back to the other characters that they removed them on. Again, only male characters. I don't know why this was a thing, but it was what like the
We
top
need
post on the
justice for
subreddit
Garrus's nipples. I'm just saying.
multiple years in a row.
Next, they're going to be,
Man, this is
removing
Batman
the
all over
nipples
again.
off of Kurt Russell's character.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Pliskin
God forbid
in
this
Escape
art
from New
director
York.
watched Batman and Robin.
We
Well, see, that's okay because those aren't skin nipples; those are suit nipples.
No, they were
That's
bat
different.
nipples.
Right, but I'm saying in Escape from New York, Kurt Russell and his pink pretty nipples are on display for everyone.
This is
That's
true.
true.
This is true. Why are we talking about nipples again? Oh yeah, Hunter had a side tangent.
Square Enix. No, Square Enix. You started this. This
Yo,
is
yeah,
Yeah, you
literally
started
your
it. You
Oh, yeah.
It's
brought it
about
up.
Pliskin, goddammit. Pliskin.
Crow
He
County.
was
It
giving
was
an
good.
unbiased comparison
Um,
to the controversy for male characters. That's
Got
what
it.
it was.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay. Well,
Again,
that
males
was
can be
all I
victims
had
too.
for
Male characters can be victims too.
yes.
Do you
There
all
they
remember
objectify us.
a couple of years ago on Facebook where they had like the censorship for like the tasteful art boobs that was showcased on there, and women were getting away with being topless by basically photoshopping men's nipples on top of their own, and like doing like bad photoshops of men's nipples, and they were not hairy; they were just men's nipples that they pasted on women's topless photos, and it passed Facebook's censor.
glorious.
Next time I have the
The-
chance
yeah,
to look
yeah.
at my wife's nipples, I'll compare them to mine and see how the difference is.
I hope they're a whole lot less hairy.
I hope they're completely different. At least for your sake.
I hope they're like
my
on Scary
poor
Movie,
friend.
took off her bra and you saw the
The
jiggles
chest
and the-
hair, yes.
Yeah. Then the next time she undresses, you're like, I knew I married you. You remind me of my dad.
Somebody got daddy issues.
Whoa.
And not only do I get the wonderful moment of putting that into your brain now, but it's just gonna live back there for
It's gonna live
ages. And
rent-free
one
right
day
back there
you're gonna
somewhere.
see her and be like, "Hey, it's Dad," and it's gonna be great. And that's gonna ruin the moment for you. And I appreciate
That's,
that.
gonna hear
that's
the
really
sound.
sad because my father passed away in 2014. It's so like, oh God, that's
You
bringing me
can
down.
still see him through your wife's nipples, I guess.
I hope not. I really hope not.
So we
Okay. Yep.
This is why you don't go down these rabbit holes.
Although
right.
I think
Have
Hunter,
you seen
you
my
may have
nipple?
gotten the title for the podcast.
What was the title?
Have you seen my nipples?
No, it was something about.
Have you
Oh,
met my
you'll-
dad's
you'll-
nipples? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll go
We'll
back.
see
I'll
it.
find it. I'll find it.
Yeah,
Last
he
thing.
said it. Ugh.
Monomyth was released today. It is a game on Steam that is heavily inspired by Kingsfield by FromSoft. Kingsfield was kind of the proto game to Demon's Souls and then Dark Souls. It was one of their first forays into fantasy role-playing games. And also,
Try-hard games.
I believe it was the first 3D fully 3D RPG on the PlayStation 1.
No, that is wrong.
Uh-oh.
Croc was the very first one.
No, dude, I'm telling you right now, the original Kingsfield predates Croc.
Let's go.
Croc
Glenn
was the
versus Nico
first
now.
one,
It was
and
a
it was an
launch
arena
title.
shooter.
The original Kingsfield was a launch title in Japan. It was the first fully 3D RPG on a video game console.
Okay, fair enough. Well,
I mean, you both got computers, and
We could look this up.
I was going to say, well, what about Final Fantasy 4, the one where they had like the zoom whenever you're in the
That's still 2D, dude. I'm saying the first fully 3D role-playing game on a console. As in,
And what
it
did you say
was
it
the
was?
first one to have everything in the game to be 3D.
What did you say it was?
Kingsfield.
Incorrect.
Okay, what is it?
It was Virtual Hilldeed. It was released
Virtual
on the
Highlight.
Sega Saturn. Highlight. There you go.
That's
Yeah, that's
no,
what I said.
because that's not 3D.
1995.
That is not rotos. It's not rotoscoped. Those are digitized.
Well, according to this, they are
Yeah.
3D polygon graphics.
Bullshit. I have that game. It's not. Okay.
Are you sure? Because
FromSoft made an arena shooter. What's up?
Oh, fuck
He had
off.
the graphic novel, and then he didn't have the graphic novel.
Listen, if there's one thing I know, it's this one. This one's up in the old gray matter and still functioning there. I swear this is correct to me. I will look it
Promise
up
you it's
and I will
nothing's
post it in
functioning up
chat when I
there.
find the article. Anyway,
Sorry, we don't need to fact check you. This isn't a presidential debate.
No, vice president.
Yeah, we don't want to doom. We don't want a
Correct.
doom episode again.
yeah, and I
None of that
really don't
again.
want to bang a couch. Anyway, Monomyth. Look, it's really
would,
fun. I played
actually.
the demo.
I could see it
recommend it.
happening.
Huh?
I could see you and a lazy boy getting down.
Oh, no.
It seems like it'd be up your alley.
Drinking gallons and gallons of horse semen, like the rumors about Waltz.
That's
was
just
going
protein,
around.
bro. That's just protein. That's
Protein.
power loading. Hunter knows all about it.
Ah,
Ooh.
See?
power
Ew.
loading.
No, that right
Maybe-
there. That right there is pure bull semen protein, 100%
Masculinity.
masculinity in a bottle.
Load
Brought to
powering.
you by GrannyFootFinder.com.
Load powered.
Load
Load powered muscles.
Hey, there's an idea for a commercial on your little show there, buddy.
No,
Make it for Badger's milk.
no.
I mean,
It's-
I would say
it's-
you could call it
It's
muscle milk, but it's already
surreal
trademarked.
stoner comedy, not gross out comedy like this show. We
And
have some sacred cows, thank you.
Hunter, how was your week?
Exhausting.
Sounds like it.
So, I am taking part in a wonderfully terrible tradition called Sober October with a friend, which no substances, which include Mary Jane and or alcohol. I kept caffeine. That one's never going away. And that's the
Like you
mental
said, Mary
torture
Jane.
side of it all. What was that, Rico?
I said the fact that you said Mary Jane, you get 1 point.
Okay. And the physical torture of this event is that we are trying to see who can run the most miles over the course of the month. So I imagine I'm going to have to get relatively close to triple digits in order to win, which I will because I'm unreasonably competitive
What-
for no good goddamn reason.
What's your running program look like? Because I mean, I have one for 18 miles a week, but I was thinking you're probably going to need more than that with the way things are going.
I'm gonna put on my shoes. I'm gonna leave the house. I'm gonna come back when I can't run anymore. daily. That's kind of my plan. Figure for like the first week, I'll build it up a couple miles each day, and then after that, just go for it and see what happens.
So, I mean, you on your own can probably do 6 miles. And I'm going to say this: if you trust your body to tell you when you're tired, we are something called persistence predators. Humans, as a species, we're intended to hunt by just following something until it gets so tired that it passes out, and then we kill it. It's why we're such a scary predator, because of the fact that we don't assault you, we don't pounce on you, we don't make traps. Well, initially we didn't. We were just there when you woke up. That was the fear of human hunting. So regarding that, you can go a hell of a long time if you take it low and slow, do the little airborne shuffle for a long time, and easily if you give yourself, let's say I'm going to go 6 miles, you can go 6 miles easy. If you want to do like 6 miles daily, that's possible. But I would say
it's possible.
no, not necessarily. I mean, especially if you're wearing good shoes. But I would say that putting a limit on the number, or like having a goal, I should say, for the day, as opposed to just kind of saying, I'm just going to go for it. And, whenever it hurts, I'll stop, because you're going to start hurting. And then whenever you start hurting, that's about 40%. Like whenever you're 40% tired, that's you have 60% more you to give during that run.
Absolutely. I did track for years, like all the way up to college and everything too.
Then
I
don't need to tell you anything.
Running to my core. That's really what it is. I've even doing it for years, and like using it so I could get into classes in college and everything else, because I was at a JC that was really small. I did it every day. I fucking hated it. I have never once in my life enjoyed running, but I'm good at doing it, and I don't like it.
Something else also, a little tip that I used for my running campaign was I used to collect things. And so basically, like, I would have a place where I would go to grab something, whether it was a rock or a leaf or a stick or something that told me that I was here. I ran to there, I grabbed the thing, and then I ran it back. It was weird, but it felt good. And I had a little jar that I had over by my room over in Kuwait, where I had my collection of rocks that I picked up while I was on my run. And it was pretty impressive, because it was kind of a testament to be like, hey, yeah, I grabbed this rock from 6 miles away, and it's mine. It's my trophy. And so, I mean, it's a little like, yeah, I have to get there so I can get my damn rock, and so it's weird, but it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely understand it.
The little goals. Yeah. Yeah. So hell yeah, dude. I never liked running, but there was a time whenever I was like, I needed it. And like whenever I stopped running, I was doing 18 miles a week while I was in the Army, 6 on Monday, 2 every other day during the week, and then 6 miles on Friday. And I was hungry for it. And then when I stopped running, it was like, oh, I'm out of the military now, so I don't need to run anymore. So fuck it, I'm going to sit on my ass. Don't do that. just run.
What I've done for
just run until it feels good. Run until it feels good, man. Whenever you get that giddy, like, like it's the runner's high. Like, God, I miss that shit.
I've never experienced.
I want to go for a run right now.
Really? I did track for so fucking long, and everybody tells me, "Oh my God, it's the most euphoric feeling ever. You're so happy. You're in the zone. Everything just shuts down. You're just going, and you feel the wind, and you love it." I'm like,
what does your running music sound like? It does exist. I've experienced it.
Dude, I did a shit ton of running in the Army. No, there's no such thing.
You broke your vagina trying to run. Like, let's calm down, okay?
It's actually not because of running. It was from running too much. Because it ripped.
So I have actually a really simple trick for that. You want to take a stance where your legs are slightly wide apart, roughly about the same height as your shoulder. You bend down just a little bit to where your knees are slightly bent. Then you tap the top of your head to get all that sand out of your vagina.
Dude, you got to. I thought you were giving me advice for a second.
That was same here. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Come on.
Yeah, but no, even after years, I've never once experienced runner's high. I will listen to podcasts, I'll listen to music. Really what it comes down to is after about 5 miles, I hate talking to myself because I get bored of the music, I get bored of the podcast, and I get bored of me. I'm like, damn it, I'm going inside, I'm done with this. So like trying to push through that I'm sure will probably help, but yeah, we'll see.
Complextro glitch bangers. Complextro is a type of electro, and like it's a really, really good type of music to run to because it's really high energy and it sounds like, you know, machines and robots in games. And so whenever you're running, you're like, and you're like, fuck yeah, I am the machine. Yeah, Makana. And like, you know, you're just like, it's there. It's so there. God, I want to go for a run right now. You got me so fucking hyped up, bro. Yeah, right.
Speaking of healthy shit, because I did forget about this, I would just like to point out.
I look forward to seeing you do great things, Hunter. I'm proud of you.
I'm glad one of us is.
I'm proud of you, Hunter. Keep going.
So hold on. Speaking of
healthy,
I would like to throw out there, if anybody from Oats Overnight listens to our podcast, sponsor us. I will shill and whore that product out for free even. Have you guys tried Oats Overnight?
No.
I have taken oats and I've put some form of liquid and honey and blueberries in there and left it in my fridge overnight, if that's what you're referring to.
That's kind of what it is, but it's like it's like a pack of, you know, when you buy oatmeal from like you buy like the maple syrup oatmeal stuff, right? Those little pouches. It's like that, but more fancy and bigger, and you just you rip it off. It goes in one of those it's one of the really big pre-workout shaker cups. It comes with one of those, but it's like a subscription service type thing. But yeah, you pour in your 8 ounces of your milk, you put this thing in, shake the shit out of it, stick it in your fridge, and then the next morning you have I don't know if it's supposed to be a meal replacement, but that shit will last me till dinner time off one of those. I've lost 10 pounds already.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah. So just saying,
good job.
Fucking great. I highly recommend it.
What's
much
the fiber
of that
content on that?
A lot.
How much of that weight that you lost was due to you taking up Glenn's advice and shaking the sand out?
At least a pound. It's safe to say a pound. Continue your week. I just wanted to throw in that I want to be a sponsor shill.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, no, really the only thing I'm looking forward to about running is the fact that I'm going to have more cardio for jiu-jitsu. That's about it.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
But yeah, other than that, that's been a majority of my week, has been dealing with the massive amounts of apathy and random bitchy mood swings for the first couple days. So I'm sure when that gets past, I'll be in a much better mood overall.
Man, withdrawals are a bitch. You really need to stop doing heroin.
Well, if it goes between the toes, nobody knows.
Oh, no, wait,
okay?
I'm sorry.
You're not supposed to put that online.
Given the mullet status, it's going to be meth at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. But I've been watching Worlds so far for League. That started, so that's enjoyable content for the mornings. I'm halfway through The Crow. I was watching it while running the other night, and I just didn't feel like continuing, so I stopped, and I figured I'd pick it up tonight, and then I didn't. So I'll probably finish it tomorrow. So far, I'm really enjoying it. It definitely has much more. Yeah, like I don't see what the problem with it is. It's way better than the original. It has a really fun supernatural feel to it. Mm-hmm. There's actual like character development and growth, and you get to like actually start to like understand the relationship of what drove him to the point of becoming the Crow.
That was one of the biggest down parts of the original Crow, is the fact that you don't actually see what him and Sherry were really like together.
Well, you didn't really see 90% of any form of character growth throughout that film. Fair. So,
for a moment there, Rico, whenever you were lifting your arm, I thought you were giving some sort of Wilhelm salute to whatever Hunter was saying. Instead, you were just scratching. I was like, bro, what you doing?
No. What it is that, since you brought it up, is I got the flu vaccine today.
Oh, look at you.
Using the hospital says, according to my job, my PD, I have to get the flu vaccine, but I'm not near no patient.
And they put it right through your tattoo?
Yeah, it was out of this one or this tattoo here. So I just picked the right arm. So,
man, I wouldn't have gone for the one that was already colored in.
What was the NES game that we had that was with the like space astronaut that you run around shooting? It was like a side scroller.
Not Metroid.
It definitely wasn't Metroid.
Wait, was it a rabbit?
No, it's definitely a person in some sort of like space exosuit. But
Jazz Jackrabbit?
No, wait, keep describing it. Keep describing it.
Futuristic space side-scrolling shooting game with the dude in some sort of space
Did it have a
exosuit.
dinosaur? Did it have the dinosaur mechs?
Yeah,
That's I think it's called Dino Wars.
probably. That's Glenn's or Rico's tattoo reminded me of the main character from that
Yes,
game.
yes. Fuck, dude. Oh, actually, I don't know if you can see it, but in the shadow box over there is the actual manual for Dino Wars.
Oh, dope.
I have the manual for that and Double Dragon.
Nice. Let's see. Other than that, I finished Heels season
That's
1.
you, Nico. Big fan of Double Dragons.
No, Double Dragon kicks ass.
Who the fuck doesn't love Double Dragons? I watched the movie last week.
We beat.
Well, no, it was like
we
3 weeks
used to
ago.
get into fights over that fucking game because we always had to play 2-player game B and beat the shit out of each other in the first level.
Yeah, and
Right.
we always
I
want to
was-
be the only good
I was
character.
talking about the video game, but okay, cool.
No, you're referring to bad dragons. That's drastically different.
No, never mind. I'll send you the Urban Dictionary webpage real quick. Sorry,
I
go
feel we're
ahead.
still probably on the same page. I finished season 1 of Heels. It's really fun. You guys should really watch it. They dive deep. Like you will narc out into like there's sort of like a territory war fiasco going on, even though it's more of a modern day setting because it's in a very small town in Georgia. There's constant drama between the family and like trying to get ahead. It's the classic HBO show basically. We're gonna get 90% of the way to our goal, and then somebody in the main party is gonna do something stupid to pull us back, so we can't actually succeed in life. But it's set in a wrestling family drama, and it's a lot of fun. Apparently, the second season starts like 2 hours or 2 days after the end of the first season, so it's really just a continuation. It's not necessarily season 1 and season 2. So I'm really excited to start that next week. And watch a bunch of Brooklyn. Oh, right. And so, yeah, watched a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine with my wife. I'm not sure exactly where that ended, so there's that.
Okay, I guess
it's a really
we're
fun
just gonna
job.
do it.
Watch it multiple times.
Unfortunately, my computer decided to shit itself for a second there. I don't know why, but now we are back in recording again. So Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
We'll see if we actually have a pod. No, we'll find out. I also have been reading a number of scripts. I recently subscribed as a Patreon to Scyther Audio, and so I've been reading like all the early access scripts for upcoming shows and everything else as well, and that's been a ton of fun. Now I just get to wait to hear other people speak the words that said to me.
Did you hear anything from me? Because I know there's some folks that were listening to my take on Cameron Hodge.
No, I haven't listened to anything. I read the scripts that they drop early versions of the scripts and scenes and everything else. I haven't listened to anything yet. I just read through what's coming up.
Okay. Have you seen the one?
I don't think I read that one.
Okay.
I feel like I would have known the very cryptic "the one" if you had said it.
The one that's important to both of us.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
I
will
have
you
read
guys
that
just
one.
fuck already.
As
like
have
the
I.
sexual tension is just too high.
He couldn't handle this.
Cover your ears, Gordo.
Oddly enough, Nico is going to be voice acting a can of soup.
Oh, yeah.
For my production.
Yeah. Oh, you missed
Fun.
it. He's now a producer for an intergalactic radio station. No? Oh,
I'm not. I was here for all of that.
Did
I
was
listened to
I
it with
here
no
for all of
context
that?
earlier. Apparently not. But
Jesus.
yeah. Let me know if you want any help with that. I'd be down. It was a ton of fun. And now they actually have context because I read the chat that accompanied it earlier, and then you gave the explanation. Yeah, it sounds like fun.
Yeah, dude. We'd love to have you. Your voice would be great for it.
Sweet. Other than that, I don't really think I have much. Oh, I do have something. I can't believe I forgot this when I dropped in. Why is Saitama always so relaxed?
Why?
Because his stress levels are always one punch away from disappearing. Yeah, Rico smiled. I'll count it. That's a win for me.
He's technically right. That's the best kind of right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that's all I got. That's my week.
Okay. Unless y'all got anything else, I would say that is a podcast.
I dare say.
I failed y'all last week.
You did.
I had nothing for the ending. I have something this week.
Wait. Ending. Oh, okay. Since we're getting to the endings now. Oh.
I always love a happy ending.
Not far off,
Captain
actually.
Dick Tickler of the ever-present NASCAR arena in the sky. What is your wisdom today?
I just need you all to know. Tomorrow is not promised. You need to be a hoe today.
What the fuck?
Shout out to all the hoes out there. Holla, holla.
Can I get a holla holla?
Holla, holla, holla.
No.
No, how dare you, Rico? You know you're a hoe.
And that's why you ain't got no hoes.
All right, pass it off. Who's next?
Rico, how about you? What's your
Hey,
wisdom?
whenever you are down and out, don't panic. Just stare into the lights, the dead lights, and drink water.
So go towards the light. All right.
Towards the light.
Who,
Even if it smells funky.
pass it off to someone.
Gordon. Go ahead.
What is Gordon going to tell us? What is Gordon's wisdom?
If it's slippery when wet, you might want to pet.
I like this Gordon
Those are
guy.
words to live by.
I think Gordon's a keeper. Way better
Don't let
than
Frank
an
go.
octopus. Glenn,
All
any
right.
parting words from you?
I will say this. Let me see here if I can gather my words properly.
Space, the final frontier.
These are the voyages of the USS. Oh shit! Oh, never mind. Okay, we
No.
good. I got a little
good?
trigger happy. Yeah, we good. Glenn, keep going. This is a shit show. I'm gonna keep my
It
finger
really
off the
is.
button. I am off the button.
Your essence shifts, just like any good recipe. Labels are static, but soup is alive. You are a stew of experiences, spices, and tastes. Or what they call you, what they see written on your tin. That's just a frozen snapshot of a recipe that's always changing.
And that's my wisdom.
I have to talk while I give you a tiny golf clap or it won't pick it up in the mic.
Yeah, right.
And now it just sounds
Right.
like I'm furiously masturbating.
The tiniest penis too.
Hey,
'Cause
I
it's
never
like-
said that I was well equipped for this job.
If my words can drive you to such passions, then I have done my job.
Oh my god. So I guess I'll play us out. In the immortal words of oh my
Pick
god.
someone.
I
Pick anyone.
anyone. What the fuck is his name? In the immortal words of Will Smith, you saw my blinker bitch. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Peace.